Gentlemen and female gentlemen of all ages, I am very excited to announce that the Acolyte is over! Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what we're waiting for. That's what it's all about! Woo! The Acolyte has ended. The world is on fire. Politics are happening, and today we're gonna start off by making fun of the Acolyte a little bit because it's now ended. People have gone into more interviews, more writers have humiliated themselves even more. The show ends with people holding hands, and it's awful. Today we are going to tear them to shreds because the Acolyte turned out to not even be a Star Wars story. It turned out to be what felt like a fan fiction for a very lonely old woman. That is kind of what the impression of this entire story was. So today we are going to be ripping it to shreds just a little bit, hopefully for the last time. My fingers are crossed for no season 2. But before we do any of this, I want to show you how the final moments of where this show actually humiliated itself, like literally just put its dick in its own ass. I hope you're ready for the Plagueis actually shows up at the end of the fucking Acolyte. Look at this shit.
I'm not my sister.
Hottest take of all time. I am not my sister. I just wanted to say that whoever wrote this line is pretty good because, as we know, Lesbian Homelander, the creator of the Acolyte, also a little lesser known as Leslie Hartland. I personally call her Lesbian Homelander because they canceled me on Reddit for that. No, there are actual Reddit threads calling me a bigot for calling her Lesbian Homelander, which is why I will continue to do so. But anyway, the point is, Lesbian Homelander had a pretty banger clip where she said, the issue with twins are, it's just really hard to tell them apart. And then you got these. Does Charlie and Muna know about Nux's bigotry? I'm assuming they don't. Someone tell them. And their reasons in the comment thread is because I called her Lesbian Homelander. It's a good day. Anyway.
They're definitely not.
And he notices it as well, ladies and gentlemen. That is a true blue Sith. He notices that they are not the same person.
They made that deal without even thinking about it.
Ready, bro? There's the little vagina crack in the wall, and this is where everything changes. Everything changes. Does she have expressions? No, she doesn't have expressions. She is, in fact, a terrible actress. And they fly off, but you hear them in the background. You ready for them to fucking shit on a Star Wars property? You ready? Oh, what is this wrinkly little Voldemort-looking fingers doing? What the? Who could this be? Who is that? It's Darth Plagueis. The first on-screen appearance of Darth Plagueis of all time is in the fucking Acolyte. And you know, and he's this little fucking Dobby-looking piece of shit. Wiggling his fingers behind the wall. I'm watching everything from the shadows. Tragic way to introduce one of the most beloved characters of a canon of all time. And that's it. He's just standing there hiding behind the Darth Plagueis the Wise. I give penis for fingers. Ooh. Humiliating and abominable. And that's how it ends. Ladies and gentlemen, we have maybe the best. He just stands there menacingly, yes. And it turns out that the entire plot of the story was this is how Darth Plagueis learned out how to immaculately conceive, and he's gonna do it with Anakin. Turns out Darth Plagueis, golem-looking ass, was behind everything all along. The Acolyte writers went on this weird tirade talking about how it's actually, in fact, awesome, and how the media, fucking Screen Rant and all these fucking terrible media outlets, hashtag renew the Acolyte trends. A Star Wars fan, call out for the Acolyte Season 2. Yes, everyone wants this to be Acolyte Season 2. Literally, everyone wants an Acolyte Season 2. Embarrassment and abominable. This entire... The media and the gaming journalists really out there trying their goddamn best idea is, they like making believe that this is actually good. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. This is the biggest middle finger ever. Let's pull out everyone's favorite character, but make him a weak, shriveled pussy behind a wall. Yeah! Honestly, I want there to be another Season 2 because I'm gonna make more fun of it. Yeah, I don't think you understand my stance on things. I made my big 2-hour video on artistic vandalism on the Taku channel, which used to be known as my main channel until it got shadow banned. But I have a different perspective. I like shitting on everything. I like my boy Disparu over here, who's gonna give me the ammunition to have the chaotic outlook on all this. Doing God's work for real, for real. All right, bro dropped this video, and he goes through a lot of the really cringe articles, terrible, weird fanfic writing that's been going on in the Acolyte. Let's for a final farewell to the Acolyte, let's shit on him.
I could literally describe everybody which has said this.
I just found the screenshot that I wanted to use for...
He gently takes hold of her arm. The red
Okay, bro, the writers made the weird teen girl thing I've ever seen.
blade still throbbing right in front of his throat.
Oh, it's throbbing by his throat! Bro, who the fuck is... The lightsaber throbbing by his throat, yes.
The Acolyte is basically audiobook smut.
Pressed against him, she meets his sympathetic gaze.
Yeah, sympathetic gaze. This is painful. Painful. Literally ruined throbbing for me.
It was aimed at middle-aged cat ladies.
She ignites the lightsaber and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat.
Aiming at female fans who...
This is actually insane. The Acolyte proved female fans knew all along the powerful sex appeal of the dark side. Bro, honestly, whoever wrote this is like an embarrassment. Not a single amount of masculinity in the show. Well, that's because masculinity. Are you not aware of the evil of masculinity? You fools. Welcome to the modern era.
Who just want to be seduced by the powerful appeal of the dark side and Manny Jacinto.
Osha gazes deeply into his eyes,
Bro, this literally became smut. Like, book talk became the new Star Wars.
then backs off and lowers the saber.
Their issue was because they have made the Acolyte.
Arguably the gayest Star Wars.
They aimed it at this target demographic while hiring an actress to be in that very same scene who had no attraction to him at all.
Why aren't you a Jedi, Osha?
Still throbbing,
One thing I have changed my mind on is that
Why are you a Jedi? Throbbing! It's throbbing by his throat!
representation is important. You desperately need to represent the majority of your audience. And with
See, here's the thing. I think that they should make it purely for selfish purposes. They should try to make money. Star Wars audience is not into this shit. Aiming a new Star Wars property to a Twilight audience is not gonna fucking work. Wait for season 2 where you got Sith werewolves and vampires fucking in the forest. It's gonna be awesome.
with Amandla Stenberg, they didn't.
throbbing,
Because Star Wars no longer has the option to be picky about their audience. Despite some places coming out and going, the Acolyte has a chokehold on its fans.
Yeah! Dude, it is insane. Watching the gaming journalists sit there, twiddle their thumbs, and sit on their asses and make believe lesbian Homelander Star Wars series deals with blustering online hate, but has fans engaged in a way that modern shows rarely do. People rarely do.
Much like Amandla did in that scene.
pressed against him, throbbing.
What has the Acolyte got going for it? Well, it seems to be Manny Jacinto. Star Wars fans are obsessed with the best thing about the Acolyte.
If the best thing about the Acolyte is that one of the actors are sexy, then the show fucking sucks. Like, objectively fucking sucks. Wait, hold on. Are you telling me that Star Wars The Acolyte was all about badass women and gay women, like everywhere in the show? This is why I get canceled on Reddit for being a bigot, by the way. The Acolyte was literally all about the strong female characters and the lesbian witches. And the one liked character in the story is the straight dude? Ain't no way!
Thick lightsaber shaft. What?
The thick lightsaber. Why the Acolyte's lightsabers are so thick and what it means for Star Wars canon.
Does that mean for the Star Wars canon? It means Master Indara was a very happy lady.
The red blade still throbbing.
The series dealt with
There are articles writing about the thickness of lightsabers because there's literally nothing else you could talk about this show.
online hate, and Nielsen showed that they've lost their fan base by about 75%.
That's a huge fucking W. Imagine that. What fan base?
And despite trying to put in lines to go, oh, aren't we cool? We predicted the future of Star Wars.
What? The Acolyte episode 7, the line that predicted the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker. Bro, the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker happened 60 years ago. What do you mean predicted? Predicted? Oh, look how they predicted it, bro. They predicted it. Damn. The Acolyte is so good at seeing the future. Oh my God.
Someday those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
Oh my God, the women were right all along. They totally saw the Anakin going to the dark side thing happening.
I remember when people put
I remember. Bro, I just watched that South Park episode on Twitch literally 2 days ago.
the minutes watched per all the recent Star Wars shows into a graph. Well, it's really not looking good, is it?
Oh God, bro, look at this. The Acolyte season 1. It's like, oh.
First 12 weeks of the show.
Dude, I love how everyone was saying that. Oh, it's getting a lot of hate, but people are actually still loving it. It's only getting hate because you hate women, right? That was like literally the whole narrative that they had. The reason why the Acolyte's getting hate is because You just hate women, which is why the Acolyte gets hate. Yeah, it's because the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and Nuxanor, these guys are all bigots, okay? That's why it gets hate. Not because the show is just shit. The show is shit. You do realize that half of these are literally just there to hate watch.
The Mandalorian Season 3 almost hit 6.5 billion minutes, compared to The Acolyte, about 1.4-ish. And seriously, coming in under half of Ahsoka, it really shows people have given up. Now, obviously, I think the ratings for a show are largely impacted by the one that came before, so The Acolyte definitely will have had a lot of people give up on it from the start, because Ahsoka was so awful. But I do think it's funny that Luminate decided to...
I didn't see Ahsoka, can't say.
This graph of decline have every color in the rainbow.
But there's something dangerous about those women.
And I probably...
There's no way they got the one white character in the entire show to say that line.
Decline have every color in the rainbow.
But there's
This is the only white guy in the entire show. The rest of the show is not, there's no way they actually got this to happen. He's the only white guy in the entire show.
something dangerous about those women.
Oh my fucking, it's Tommen from Game of Thrones too, right? This actor's Joffrey's younger brother from Game of Thrones. The sexy Sith guy's Asian. Oh, dude, and he also kills himself because due to white, he killed himself, right? He's the guy that was floating in the force field that took the poison himself. Someone's like, I'm here to kill you, and it's like, no, let me, and then he kills himself. This is literally the worst fucking... This is just so sad. Oh my god. By the way, I have people trying to cancel me for my artistic vandalism video on the main channel, where I spend 2 hours talking about how they're ruining a modern shit, and people are saying it's a racist thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you something that might surprise the frick out of you. This video, The Age of Artistic Vandalism, I want you to go through it, and I want you to show me one time where I say something is bad because of a race swap, or a gender swap, or a butchering art for that reason. I made sure not to mention that a single time, for 2 reasons. One, I don't think it's the main issue, and 2, because I knew people would try to cancel me for it. Once in this entire 2-hour video, I mentioned the Little Mermaid, and I mentioned the female custodies, and I mentioned the Velma shit, and I mentioned all of that. All of it. But I did not mention a single time gender swapping and race swapping and any of that. Not a single time. It was purely dissecting and destroying the art for art's sake. But nope, people are really quick to call me a bigot on that one.
And I probably should say this graph, it does say first 12 weeks with the Acolyte only having 5.5 weeks, but as their other graph shows, we had a heavy drop-off between the first week and the second. And while the first episode had legs for a few days, everything... No. And people seem to know this now, they're accepting it. It's very difficult to deny with that kind of proof in front of you. But Business Insider, the article is Star Wars originals are slumping, but a well-timed pivot by Disney is helping to mitigate the damage.
Bro, who writes this? This is why I like Disparu over here. Man actually goes through all the articles that I could not be bothered to read. This is bullshit. Disney's pivot is not saving anyone.
What is that well-timed pivot of
Oh, the well-timed pivot is they turned it into Twilight instead of Star Wars.
Disney deciding to change morality, change their staff, get men back into entertainment so they can infuse entertainment with masculine values. No, there isn't going to be any heroes in stories until we get that back.
The hot white guy.
That's not Disney's plan, though. I mean, Star Wars may be slipping, but it can hold up anyway. It's got an entirely new plan. They've added Hulu to Disney Plus, and that...
Don't worry, guys. We're gonna artificially inject more viewers into our shows because we're just gonna make it available on more platforms. Now that it's available on Disney Plus and Hulu, we're gonna hit a larger audience that can actually watch it because of the absolute fucking terrible streaming service crisis. God, I hate streaming services.
That's lowered churn. Disney, the brand that owns Marvel and Star Wars, has to be saved by Hulu because they're not consuming Star Wars or Marvel content.
That's it. If we just market our shit to an outside audience that didn't pay for our shit, maybe they'll watch it for free now, artificially inflating the sales and make it look like we're succeeding.
Anymore. And they had to incentivize the bundle through discounts. So it's...
Oh, let's go. We are literally paying you to watch The Acolyte to artificially inflate the numbers of views. This is the saddest shit in the world. Imagine being Disney and being saved by Hulu. This is insane. This is when you're getting beaten up by your baby brother and your 6-year-old cousin has to join the fray to protect you.
It's not even really organic, and they're definitely losing money doing it. It does make the subscriber numbers look better, though.
Yep, that's exactly what they're doing, artificially inflating the numbers.
Because they think that one of the signs of hope for Disney executives
Throbbing.
is that people aren't cancelling in droves. They're cancelling, just not in droves.
Yo, that's so fucking good. Oh my god. You know, Destiny, he's been getting into a lot of drama over his Trump tweets. Trump tweets lately. But the thing is, for Destiny, the good news is, you see, he's only losing minimal subscribers. He's not losing subscribers in droves, so I don't see how this will actually affect his career in general. You know, like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Droves. Maybe this is why Dave Filoni has started to kind of downplay his role in the creation of some shows. Because there were a lot of articles about how Leslie Headland had been going around revealing how Dave Filoni had helped her on the series. But
bro, what the fuck? This is actually insane to me that lesbian Homelander still has a face in this community. Aside from butchering Star Wars the way she did, isn't she, you know how Ghislaine Maxwell was to, Jeffrey Epstein? Wasn't that her to, what's his name, Steve Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein? Weren't they actually, like, allies? Yeah, she was Harvey Weinstein's former assistant. Aside from that, and I don't know why the fuck the goddamn corporation still has these.
Now the show is dying. Well, I mean, he doesn't quite want the credit that he might have done if it was a success. Asked about the scope of his new role and the future of Star Wars, he laid down his philosophy for future installments and said,
yeah.
It's not me telling people how things should be. In other words, that's all Leslie Headland. She did it all on her own. I didn't tell her what to do. Don't blame me. No.
I wrote the philosophy. You know how good and evil are sometimes at war with each other?
Oh, it is the great collaboration process and consideration and inspiration that goes both ways. Sometimes Leslie Headland inspires me of how I can make my shows worse. But
I love this so much. This is like, did you see the actor for Tyrion Lannister? Like, there was you know how Game of Thrones Season 8 was terrible? Like, so bad. But, when they asked the actors about Game of Thrones Season 8 before it came out, and none of them wanted to, like, say it was gonna be shit. Did you see these clips? Like,
have you shot your final scenes yet? And are you happy with how things ended? Yeah.
Like, this is before the Season 8 came out, and they're like, right? Like, this is all their reactions. Dude, this is these guys talking about fucking Star Wars right now. It's like, so, what was your contribution to Star Wars? Well, I think that I'm dealing with a genius.
main takeaway is, yeah, I'm not creating the Acolyte. I shouldn't be blamed for it. I just collaborated on it a bit. You know, if it was a success, then I could take credit for inspiring that success. But if it's a failure, it's nothing to do with me. I didn't tell them what to do. They did that on their own.
You have the boy's magic.
No, this magic belongs to no boy.
It really is the best of both worlds.
Wait, was that actually in the new Peter Pan? Oh. Magic belongs to no boy.
Ultimate slimy car salesman. That house isn't on fire. It's just very cozy. Natural central heating. And we have been playing a lot of word games recently. In fact, the most surprising twist about episode 7 that I have
All right, I'm ready.
seen so far came from CBR, where it called what happened to the witches on episode 7. I'm not even sure I can say the word.
The Acolyte's shocking genocide creates a Jedi story more tragic than Luke Skywalker's. Are you joking me? Like, these people are actually insane. Like, they're delusional. I'm telling you, this is why you can never trust these game reviewers. It's the same people that after Trump got shot at his rally, and they're like, Trump escorted off stage after falling at rally, which was CNN's headline. You cannot trust a word of what these people say. Everything is literally pushing an agenda. Everything is literally pushing an agenda. No, the Acolyte shocking genocide did not create a story more tragic than Luke Skywalker's, okay? The freaking lady became a bat demon and they stabbed her because she was a bat demon that was disintegrating people. What is even happening right now? Journalists are not people. I am gonna stand on this point. Journalists are not people.
Good. What should we call it? A genocide. I mean, it doesn't even really make any sense. I couldn't stop laughing when I first read this title.
Bro.
I died. Much like the witches. I don't know how defending yourself...
Bro, the witches died because they were monsters! She became a bat demon! And people don't know what I'm talking about. All right, whatever. I'm not looking up that clip. Okay, I'll look up that clip. Bro, how am I even gonna find this? Acolyte... witches die? I don't know, man. I'm trying here. It's really not easy to find because who would want to make a clip of this? Oh my god. Here's the witch's death scene. Look at this. This is awful. All right, so this Wookiee, the Wookiee Jedi, is being possessed by evil witch magic. All right, and it just describing this show is a fucking travesty. Yeah, so this is the penis witch. She's known as the she's the big mama. And they are literally mind controlling this Jedi to kill each other. And they all die. Well, that was yeah, well, listen, it's not it's in the power of many. Like, it's fucking stupid. Okay, wait, you didn't even see Acolyte Demon. Come on, show me the clip of her becoming a monster, please. Episode 7, because it's so bad. God, how am I gonna find
What the fuck is going on?
That's not what, I don't know who this is. I don't know who you are, Mr. Reaper. I'm borrowing your video because there's no way you don't show the death scene.
Idiotic, evil, black lesbian girl boss space witch who was trying to vape it's on bad, which audience don't interpret this scene in any other
So here she becomes a force monster.
way than Jedi bad.
Okay, she becomes a demon lady. I can't find it. No one made clips of this show because the show's fucking terrible, which is why no one made clips to this show. Maybe the Critical Drinker talked about it. Oh my god, I can't stop.
Just when I think you couldn't
I cannot escape from this power of one, power of two, power of many. It's a nightmare. It's a tragedy, a travesty. All right, this isn't working, bro. I give up. She became a bad smoke demon, okay? And they killed her because she became a black smoke demon.
From a murderous group suddenly turns into that classification, but CGR, whoa, we've got to...
Yeah, dude, so these people were trying to kill the Jedi, and in self-defense, the Jedi fought back and they killed all the witches. Wow, classic genocide, am I right?
Try and spin it there. Just to try and make the Jedi look bad, we're going to play word games rather than focus on what actually happened. In Dara's decision to cover up the Brendok Geno.
Dude, this is, I'm telling you, these words have become buzzwords. Like, unironically, a genocide is the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group. Why? With the aim of destroying that nation or group. Is not what was done here. It was self-defense. The goal was never going in there to destroy the nation or group. That was not the goal. Okay? They were like, they tried to make Order 66, except lame. It's the fucking South Park Pandaverse version of Order 66. Is not that.
Leads to a moral dilemma, showcasing her as a sympathetic villain.
How does this make her a sympathetic villain? Oh my god.
Firstly, how do you think that anyone committing Geno could ever be sympathetic, you lunatics? So, in other words...
Genocide is by definition not sympathetic. There is no way to make a sympathetic genocide. What the fuck?
How could she be a villain? Like, well, she did wipe all those people out, but... There is no way you can believe that this is the description of what happened and she's sympathetic. It doesn't happen. Either she was justified...
It's like trying to make Hitler a sympathetic character. You literally cannot do that.
...in her actions, or she was a villain.
Oh, no, I'm a Libra. I can't make decisions like this.
In Dara's effort to prevent...
I don't know. I don't want to know what that clip was.
...bloodshed. If she's trying to prevent it, then it's not a Geno, is it, you... Oh, I used to think they weren't sending their best. Now I...
Holy shit, that's so bad. In Dara's efforts to prevent bloodshed, but they called it a genocide. If they tried to prevent bloodshed, then it wasn't a genocide. A genocide is going in there with the intention of wiping out an ethnic group. Like, that is... What is even going on?
I think they're actively selecting their worst. It's not to say that Indara doesn't have compassion. She's just better balanced. She has the experience of knowing the line to walk between the light and the dark sides of the Force. What? Being half evil isn't balanced? You insane...
That's the fucking craziest shit ever. Wait, what is even going on? Like, this is the worst possible framing of what's happening.
In Murderous Lunatics. Your aim shouldn't be the personification of evil half the time. Now, I will give them one thing. I do think this is what Leslie Headland was going for. I think this was her intention in that episode. It's just it falls apart the moment a human watches it.
Yeah, true. For Leslie Headland, she thinks of herself as half evil. Yes, she was a big ally of Harvey Weinstein, but at the same time, she didn't personally rape anyone. All right, that's getting too far. But anyway, I'm gonna get so fucking destroyed on Reddit. Again. Bro, this is insane. This is the worst take of all time. How can...
The process, she ends up having a more tragic history than Luke Skywalker. What? My dad was created by the Force and then built a Death Star that went around destroying planets is one hell of a tragic history. But you think she beats it because I don't even know why. She had to defend herself against some murderous, bloodthirsty witches, and somehow that makes her half evil. What are you talking about?
Dude, you could just... These articles are literally paid shit. There's no way with a working frontal lobe would write something like this. Like, this is the lobotomy hot takes.
Indara has to exert a lot of...
Like actual lobotomite Olympics.
To break the hold that the witches had over the Wookiee that was going to kill all of her friends. But the invisible pulse is too much for the collective witches, their minds break and they die. It's not Indara's fault. Well, if it's not her fault, why are you saying that she's evil half the time and committed Geno?
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning, Admiral?
The ability...
Bro, is your idiot brain getting fucked by stupid?
For some people to hold two contradictory ideas in their own head simultaneously is very impressive. And that's not the only stupid thing that came out of episode 7. Even Leslie Headland said that when she was turning into black smoke, she was...
See, that's what I'm talking about! She became the smoke monster from Lost! You know the biggest plot hole in Lost? Well, she became that!
Transforming herself and May into the Force. Now,
She was transforming herself into the Force? What? Dude, stop! This isn't Star Wars!
I thought she was just basically doing a teleportation spell, and they'd like merge into the wind or something and pop out somewhere else. But I don't care what anyone says, that is the dark side. Don't turn your kids into the dark side of the Force, that's evil. I never thought that needed to be on a car bumper sticker, but apparently Hollywood doesn't know it. And that's
I love how instead of making a morally gray character, they made someone half evil. Like, this is the most bullshit rewriting of history I've ever seen.
The fallout of this episode has led to so many really stupid decisions. We've got the showrunner coming out and saying that, you know those characters that died in episode 6?
Yeah.
You know the ones where we're like, okay, well, she got stabbed with a lightsaber 3 times, but we know what they're like. She might not be dead yet. Well, she might just get resurrected later on. She said
there's no way. There's no way. The only thing that the Acolyte was actually complimented for was the fact that when she got stabbed, triple tapped by a lightsaber, she died. That was the only positive thing. And you're teasing the return now. I can't. They are trying to shit in their own food.
The plan was always to kill them in episode 5 halfway, but we didn't spend a lot of time with them. So maybe there's a way that we could keep playing around with them somehow. I mean, they're dead. Unless you're going to do a Star Wars series set in hell, I'm not sure how you're going to visit them again. Unless
people don't know what they're doing. Holy shit. Remember the meme that people made about unlimited blade works like 10 years ago? The people die when they are killed? Like, you remember that. Like, this is a 10, 20-year-old meme. This is an anime that came out in 2006. People die if they are killed. This screenshot got memed to hell and back, and somehow, it is still relevant.
Unless you do some weird Disney stuff and bring them back. She also said something which I think I knew, but I had forgotten, or rather wiped from my mind for mental stability, that Yord Fandor, who was essentially the beta tosser who did nothing but get humiliated throughout the entire series, that he was a character in a tabletop campaign that she'd played previously, and so she'd written a large backstory for him. He was the ultimate self-insert. Obviously not a self-
This is crazy. I don't even... It's like, oh, I played a D&D game, and I thought this guy was cool, and I made a backstory, but then we just killed him, so maybe we'll bring him back to explore his backstory.
Self-insert of how she is in the world, but one that she had role-played previously. So when you find out that most of the main characters now were never cast, she simply watched television, and then like, he's good in that role, we'll have him, and then that they're characters in the series would you...
What do you mean we're never cast? Acolyte, actors, cast. Are you telling me that they were never actually cast? I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it.
Just things from tabletop campaigns she's been playing before. This series is most definitely Leslie Headland's baby.
You stupid woman with your weird child.
And it really proves why it was a disaster. That's why despite Kotaku's article, if you're mad about the Acolyte, you haven't been paying attention to Star Wars.
If you enjoyed the Acolyte, you haven't been paying attention to Star Wars.
Firstly, no one's mad. Quite frankly, it's too bad to get angry about.
I'm not mad. I love it. This is the ultimate pure chaotic neutral. Pure chaotic neutral. I enjoy making money, making fun of the Acolyte.
It 100% hits that it's so bad it's funny level. This series is only beaten by Willow and She-Hulk on that playing field.
How dare you insult Velma like that? Velma's the queen.
What the hell is that? Don't worry about it.
But we have it.
What was that?
The point where if you like the Acolytes, you haven't been paying attention because the show is back.
I love it. I love it. If you're mad about the Acolyte, you haven't been paying attention to Star Wars. I'm telling you, these articles are trash. This is Kotaku. These people cannot be ever trusted again. Like, I don't even know why. I don't know why we even look at these articles anymore. I cannot believe it. Brother, get the heavy flamer. There's some heresy going on.
Like the Acolytes, you haven't been paying attention because the show is bad. But when you go and actually read what Leslie Headland has been saying and the actors and actually understand their intentions with the series, it gets so much worse. The interviews that they do after each episode, they make the show look like a masterpiece in comparison. They're always car crash. And so, as fans are obsessed with the only good thing about the Acolyte being Manager Kinto, they have started a Renew the Acolyte hashtag.
Like, these people are actually gaslighting people into thinking it's good. It's like, you watch an episode, you hate it, then you open up the reviews and everyone says it's amazing, and you're like, oh shit, maybe it was actually really good.
To try and desperately get it a season 2. And in fact, Leslie...
Dude, I hope it gets a season. I get to make fun of a whole new season of Acolyte? Oh, fuck yeah.
Headland has said that the talks have already begun. Given the ratings, it's probably very unlikely to happen, but they have begun. And I have a feeling that I could literally describe everybody which has said this unironically. I mean, the first tweet in the article...
No one said that unironically. It's bots. There's no way it's not bots.
Literally has someone with Willow in their name.
Oh my god, dude.
I think if you made a Venn diagram of those two fan bases, it would just be a circle. Well, many were excited for the show. There was also an overwhelming amount of negativity and backlash, even before it premiered, due to what we knew about the series. However, the fans have spoken, and it seems they want a season 2.
Yes, the fans have spoken! Everyone... I want a season 2. I would fucking tweet that out. Yes! Yes! Please renew the Acolyte. Give me another full-ass season of content. Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
I agree. Bring it on, Leslie. I dare you. Renew the Acolyte. This show has done some of the most
Are they really in the article? They're showing a tweet from Rainbow Saber. Rainbow Saber with 25 likes. That is the tweet that they're gonna go with in their article to show you that fans love the show.
Impressive world building, complex character moments, phenomenal lightsaber choreography, and a rich story that needs to be expanded upon. Amanda Stenberg is such an amazing actress. The way that she maintains her one expression at all times without...
she does not change her expression. It's crazy.
For moving.
Yennefer from The Witcher. If this is a Witcher reference, because The Witcher was also fucking the later seasons of The Witcher. Brother. These are all bots. Like, every single one of them is basically signaling to you that they are either a bot or brain dead.
Must be very difficult to upkeep. The way she handles the dialogue and emotes through her eyes.
Well, the good thing through her eyes, because the rest of her face isn't moving.
Osha gazes deeply into his eyes, then backs off and lowers the saber.
Because she doesn't emote any other way.
True, it's only through her eyes. It's not like her voice has different cadence.
Her eyes also stay still. It's beautiful. I love watching her, and I hope she knows she's giving us a brilliant performance. That's the thing, if Amanda Stenberg saw this tweet, no doubt she'd be shocked and incredibly happy, but no one would be able to tell. When we...
Well, you would if you looked at her eyes, but that's insane.
Get a scene in season 2 where Sol sees Osha curl her sound around Camille. You're gonna be so sick of me.
It's literally, this is the group. It's the fucking Twilight fans. The NTR shit. The power dynamic shit. Like, these people are insane. It's like, actually, the book talk audience has managed to invade Star Wars. But notice it's the same Yennefer. This Screen Rant article needed to show a bunch of people that wanted a season 2 and use 2 tweets from the same person that's a fan of The Witcher. 2 tweets. This one has 62 likes. I don't even understand.
Bring these soulmates back to me. I can't do with only 8 episodes. And that's why the Acolyte...
Dude, this is actual book talk all over again.
Light's renewal. Look, it may not happen due to underwhelming viewership, but I think those Twitter Raylos and Willow fans desperately need the season 2. You can't disappoint them, Disney. This is worth another $300 million.
I can't believe they spent $180 million.
Obviously, you're gonna have to increase the budget.
Dude, I fucking want Amanda to win an Emmy so badly.
After the first season, you wouldn't want to be a bigot or anything. You wouldn't dare back down and kowtow to those haters and cancel what is universally known as...
Arguably the gayest Star Wars.
So I have hope. There are some people that...
If you hate this show, you probably hate gay people.
Oh,
You're probably a bigot, like Reddit thinks I am.
Don't have my natural British optimism. The British are obviously renowned for their permanently happy outlook on the world. Always lighting up the darkness around them with their cheery disposition.
Bro, get a toothbrush.
There are some people, though...
That was too far. I like this man's videos. I'm so sorry.
They just don't have what it takes to be that kind of cheery light in the darkness.
Throbbing.
Like Paul Tassi, for instance. Why the Acolyte Season 2 looks increasingly unlikely. He'd spent weeks...
Maybe because it was shit and didn't get viewership.
Defending this show and saying it was absolutely amazing, only to fall down at the final hurdle. It's a shame you can't be as optimistic as me, Paul. If you enjoyed the show as much as I did, you might have had more faith. And he says ever since the last few excellent episodes, I have gone from...
These people are actually brain dead. These people are being paid to write these reviews. You will not ever convince me. You will not ever convince me that these people did not get paid real ass money to review them like this. Excellent episodes. I've gone from mixed to a supporter. Like, that is so bullshit. I hate this this new wave of people going out and doing that shit. You see it in politics all the time. I was a hardcore left-wing supporter my entire life, but now I've become right-wing now. And then you got the other people. I've been a hardcore conservative my whole life, but now I'm finally liberal. Like, these people's opinions are probably fake. Okay? What are you doing? Who are you trying to convince this shit? Even though I've had mixed feelings about the beginning of The Acolyte, now I love it.
Mixed on the show to a supporter. I better know the scene that really won him over.
He steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
Fucking God, it's awful. This is actual just like softcore smut.
Red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat.
And I'd like to see it continue, but I have to admit, it's exceedingly unlikely based on what we know. No! It's not about what the show is or it being bashed by Star Wars YouTubers and their audiences.
Oh, it's the Star Wars YouTubers. They're literally ruining the reputation of the show.
Rather, it's simple.
You do realize that if the show was good, people would have actually watched it. I feel like this is the most important takeaway. Most people have no idea what the Star Wars YouTubers are saying. Most people open Disney Plus on their TV at home and see Acolyte plastered all over it. Literally, Disney Plus shilling Acolyte non-stop for the last 2 months. Non-stop. Those are the people that might watch it. And those are the people that aren't watching it enough.
Cost versus viewership. What Paul has discovered is that terrible shows don't get watched, and so they don't get remade. Now, logic would dictate then that if the show is known about and not watched, it's not excellent. But no, this is because they spent $180 million on it. It's a wild amount, with it nowhere near theaters. And yet, despite the solid aesthetic, you do have to wonder where much of that money went. Maybe
you do have to wonder, in fact, if this was all just a scam.
It's time that all of Hollywood started to publish in detail where the money went.
That would be really nice. That would be really nice. $180 million went into this. Yeah, I'm sure that your tax returns say you spent $180 million on this. But if you spent more than $100 million and you didn't spend the other $80 million just to fucking clean the cash so you don't need to pay back taxes on it, I would not be surprised if that was the reality.
Wages, for instance. Just how much did Leslie Headland and her wife get paid for this job?
Grind possum butter, sprinkle it on my bum, and make my gentle winds smell like cinnamon.
People will be like, oh no, a company never do that. But if you did, I have a feeling that those budgets would quickly come down as the money would be better spent, with thousands of people looking at the costs. Then he admits that the show failed.
It is wild, and I would love to know where these... I would love to.
But before you say, well, it's so bad, that's why the viewership is low. Bit late for that, mate. I already said that a few paragraphs ago. Keep up. You should know the least watched Star Wars show is Andor. I don't think that's true at all. At least not according to this graph. Even if you do go off, well,
bro, these people are... They're all losers. They're all losers!
12 weeks compared to 5.5, the viewership numbers are front-loaded. As you can see in the trends per episode, the first two got dramatically higher than the rest, and that's only going to have got worse. So even if you double and a bit this, you're going to end up around here, not Andor. So I don't know what numbers he's going off.
He's just wrong. He's just wrong. Like, dude, this is what's so insane. These people are literally false information from Disney. And also, aside from being fed the false information from Disney, they also are being paid to write these fluff pieces, and they write them. And it's not gonna ever convince anyone. But if you look at the actual news headlines out there, they all look like it's actually just a beloved show that has some weird group of bigots hating on it for some reason.
At least from Business Insiders, it doesn't look to be the case. However, are at $250 million. Wow! Hey, if Andor can get 250, Acolyte Season 2 could come back with at least 100 million. Surely, just snap off a chunk of that printed money. Give them a few crumbs. It's pretty easy to understand why those shows are the least watched in Disney history.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
True, it's so easy to understand, yeah.
amazing, but it's easy to understand why people don't. But there is a sign of hope that we could all be very happy with much more content in the future. That Disney has a lot riding on the High Republic era being theirs to build out, and so far, it's only been done through books, which nobody has read. And so we get down to tomorrow's episode. What is gonna happen? Because there are a few things we learned from Leslie.
The episode already came out, so I suppose we can save ourselves a couple of minutes. It's so bad. It's so bad. And they tease Master Yoda for season. Dude, what the fuck? How on earth can you tease Master Yoda? You got 10 Jedi dying, okay? How did he not sense that shit? You got people lying to his face about the Sith not existing.
Headland's interview. The first confirmation is she keeps repeating, we don't know how the kids were made, and then goes, it was very important to me and Pablo Hidalgo, Dave Filoni, that the girls aren't a virgins. It was the virgins in the Force amplified the witch's power in the Force, which somehow led to something. But
whatever. I don't need to hear talk about making believe the show makes sense. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. I'm done. The end of the Acolyte. You people suck. Your articles are all fake. You're ruining a piece of art. And I'm done. Go fuck yourself and use your long ass Master Plagueis fucking fingers to continue fucking yourself. This is just sad. This is just sad that you're gonna bring an iconic Sith into the world. Darth Plagueis is one of the most beloved characters in the Star Wars universe. And the fact that this show had the balls to say that we are the ones that brought him into the canon. You know who made Darth Salad Fingers here? The Acolyte. Darth Plagueis' appearance was in The Acolyte. Fucking sad. You have nothing on your own. You are standing on the shoulders of giants and you are fucking destroying a beloved franchise. And I'm gonna continue making fun of it when season 2 inevitably happens because Velma got a season 2, so let's go, baby. Plagueis over here, standing in the sneako position, watching people fuck each other. Thanks for being here. And stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.